Hi YouTube. Today I'm gonna show you how to make an M4 carbon out of paper. First, list of things you're gonna need. You gotta need a ruler, a pencil, some duct tape if necessary, clear tape, and some black tape if necessary also, scissors, and maybe some glue. Alright, so to start it off, first of all we're gonna grab this paper. We're gonna make 5 tubes. So we're gonna just roll all these up and make 5 tubes. Alright guys, I got my 4 tubes. Here we got 4 tubes that just the same, just grab the paper like that and roll it up. We got these 3. And this one, just grab the paper by the side and roll it up. So you'll get a long one. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab another one of these. And this too. Fold it up as small as you can. But not too small, you don't wanna bend up the tube or mess it up. I'm gonna roll it up. Fix that up. There. Now we're gonna stick it into this tube. Just let it grow out so it'll adjust. Pull out this end. Gonna grab some tape. And we're gonna tape this end. Now we're gonna push that back in. And push out the other end. Grab some tape. And tape up that end. I'll just pull it right out. Grab some more tape. And tape it in the middle. Now what you want to make sure it can slide nicely in there. As you can see. So there. Now we're gonna stick it in there. Hold it nicely. Not too small. Just stick it in a bit. We're gonna grab a lot of tape. I'm gonna tape these 2 tubes together. Try to make it so it's nice and steady. And there. This will be the main tube. So there. You got all the 4 tubes here. Alright. Now, step 2 will be, we're gonna have to align all the tubes together so they're nice and straight. Here will be a good time to use maybe some duct tape. We're gonna tape them together. You can use whichever tape you like. I'm using duct tape because it'll hold them nice and strong. I want them to be held strong so they won't come apart. So now we're gonna tape them together. Alright, so after you've taped them, you should end up with like this. A long tube goes in right here in the middle. 1 tube in the top. And there's 2 tubes in the bottom. You're supposed to move them out, move these last tubes like about 2 inches. Move them out a bit. Now after that, what you want to do is the bottom tube here. You want to squeeze it a little bit. Squeeze it down a bit. Alright? So, right now, so far, we're pretty far. Now that everything's nicely taped, I want to make sure everything is nice and strong. Squeeze that tube a bit. Alright. So now, next, I'm going to grab some scissors. Right here, these tubes right here, like about, you want to cut about this much. Just about there. and carefully. You don't want to bend up the tubes. So there, we cut off a bit. You can see right there. I left a little flap there because this tube really isn't gonna be filled with anything. Alright. So now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna make the handle, which is gonna go about right here. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna want to grab a sheet of paper. You wanna make a big tube. Make it big. Okay then, so I got the tube. I measured it out to make sure it fits LB nicely. Alright, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab, but first of all, what I did here, I grabbed the tape and I put a nice long strip here because we're gonna do a lot of cutting, so make sure it doesn't get undone. Alright, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab this. We're gonna be measuring. Measure out. We want to bend just a bit like that. Alright. Now, what you wanna do is you want to cut like a bit of an edge. Cut a bit of an edge. Check. You'll see. It's a bit twisted. So we're gonna just cut out a bit of an edge. If you want to make just a bit more to make it a nice fit. Cut it out nicely. And there. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is measure out good. We're gonna have to cut this about in half. Put it right in the middle. Cut it just in half. We'll save this piece for later. We might be able to use it. Alright, so now we got this. So now what we're gonna do is, with our fingers, we're gonna make this into a rectangle. Alright, so I finished making the handle. Now remember I said duct tape would have been good. For this, I put some duct tape all over it to make it nice and strong. It's all rectangled and it'll fit just nice. Alright, so next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the trigger. So this one's gonna be easier. Now, remember this part from making this? We're gonna recycle it. So let's just take it apart. We can use it to make the trigger. Okay, so alright, so we got that out. So now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna grab this, and we're gonna cut out a nice square. We might need more after this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab it and twist it. That's there. Make sure it measures good with this. It's gonna be connected to that. Measures nicely. Now we're gonna flip over. Just do that all the way through. I got some tape. Nice long one. Grab it. Just tape it. Right in there. Got the first part of the trigger. As you can see, this is gonna go like that. this is just gonna go right here and twist inward. That's making the trigger. Alright. So we're gonna grab this, measure out. I'm gonna check her out good. So about this width, about that long, we're gonna twist right there. Just about halfway. Gonna twist it, bend it. Now we're gonna make it a little nice little curvy. Nice like a little curve, not like a fold, like that. A nice curve. Then measure out good. Now we're gonna grab some scissors. We're gonna cut about right there on the top part. Cut that out. Measure out good. You wanna measure out good to make sure it fits nicely. Alright, so after you make all that stuff, you create it, glue it on, tape it on, and then to make this, you just have like a little slab of paper and just fold it out. Just fold it nice and flat, and it'll get no trigger, and just glue it right on. As you can see, I already taped on my handle on. Probably want to do that already. Alright, so now what's next? As for this part, so what's next now will be is we're gonna make the muzzle. So first, to make the real system, because I might need the gun a little, we're gonna have to make the tube. Gotta make it a lot bit smaller to go in here. So I'll make it a lot smaller. I have to make sure I can slide in and out nicely. This is only if you just want to have the piece removable. But it would be nice to have it kind of removable. I was wrong. You might actually have to do. You're gonna have to do actually 7 tubes. 1 tube, which will be the main barrel, and 6 to go all around it. Get that nice and taped up. Now we're going to check to make sure. Want to make sure it goes in and slides nicely. Make sure it slides nicely. Wait. Take that out. Put another piece of tape right in the middle. Alright, so here's 1 tube. Now we're gonna grab 6 sheets. We're gonna make 6 small tubes all around this. 6 small tubes to make sure it all fits nicely.